Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. The double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainar. The title of the video is Have You Seen This Man Wanted Dead or Alive? And basically, Esau Edom, right? The so-called white man is wanted all around the world for many different crimes. Today, we have Bill Gates, as the subject, to be talked about regarding crimes that he has committed. But we have Donald Trump, we have Netanyahu, right? These different individuals are wanted for many crimes around the world, international laws that they're breaking, even war crimes that they're doing, civil lawsuits being sued or under investigation. We have the list from Epstein, and all these things that's happening regarding these people, right? And it's always the usual suspects, right? The Edomites, because the scriptures say in Revelation 11 and 18, it says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, right, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." So Yahweh Shai, right, is on his way now, because we're at the end. He's on his way, and he's going to do what? He's going to destroy them which destroy the earth. And these devils, that's exactly what they do. John 10 and 10 says, "The thief comes not, but to steal, kill, and destroy." Right? And ultimately, Bill Gates is being found out to be another Edomite that's been destroying the earth, with the things that he's been doing, So I'll just play a little bit of this. And you can see it.
Action. So this is good news about what's happening to Bill. What's happening to Bill Gates in Africa, right? So reminder, the Gates Foundation has been forced to surrender its diplomatic immunity in Kenya after a public and legal backlash. This is a monumental defeat for Bill Gates. He attempted to place his billionaire philanthropy above the law, seeking legal impunity for an organization riddled with allegations of misconduct and destructive projects. This was a brazen power grab, pure and simple. Kenya's democracy pushed back, preventing Gates from becoming an untouchable oligarch on the continent. This victory exposes his foundation's colonial model, funding compliant media and pushing failed green revolution projects that have devastated African farmers. Gates' retreat is a critical win. Now the reckoning with his destructive, undemocratic power must begin. No billionaire is above the law. And what am I talking about? So here they are talking about what they found out about the Gates Foundation and what they're doing about it.
Getting things that can destroy the sovereignty of Africa. We cannot afford to trust WHO anymore, Your Excellency. And I'll just mention a few things that have caused great concern to us. In 2014, 2015, WHO brought tetanus eradication campaign in our country. It was a campaign to eradicate neonatal tetanus, babies who are born who eventually get tetanus. And the vaccine that was used is a different type of a tetanus vaccine that is a fertility regulating vaccine.
A fertility regulating vaccine, meaning under the guise of giving people a tetanus vaccine, they were actually suppressing their fertility. And they found out about it, and Bill Gates was doing it.
And, ultimately, these people are making inquisition, right, of these Edomites and everything they have done. Bill Gates, all these different people are tied into what's happening in the world. The Edomites, right? The banking elite, the top guys. And that's why you have most of these people are mentioned on that list that they're desperately trying to bring to the light, right? On the Epstein's list. And the government shut down right now, and they're trying to make this one last person get in there, and her vote will be the one vote to allow this thing to basically come to the light. And the government shut down, so the people around the world are finding out that this is the wicked,
Take tetanus and combine it with a hormone called human chorionic gonadotropin that supports pregnancy. And when you inject a woman with that vaccine, she produces antibodies against that hormone and therefore is rendered sterile. So we are noticing an increase in the number of infertility cases among young couples who you examine and they are normal but cannot get children, or couples who are losing 3, 4, 5 pregnancies before they can carry any pregnancy to term. We were able to expose this, and we have even published a paper that is available. And
So that's what he was doing. They're sterilizing people. And there's the paper. IgG found in WHO tetanus vaccine in Kenya raises concern in the developing world. No kidding.
No kidding. Well, I say go Kenya. Good for you. Knock that evil man out of your country. I mean, this is crazy. It sounds more like they were trying to eradicate babies, Jimmy, which they've done that. They tried to eradicate so many people out of Africa with AIDS. And then, of course, when they were giving away the free formula for the women over there and getting them hooked on giving formula to the babies. And then once their milk dried up, they didn't give them any free formula anymore. So they couldn't breastfeed and they had to pay a lot of money for the milk. Oh, it's so evil. Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, you just heard what she just said. Basically, they was over there, putting them on the formula, giving it to them for free, and then once the milk dried up in their system, they stopped giving them formula for free and made them pay for, so just the wicked, right? The wicked of the earth, and they're being inquired about. This is 2 Ezra 6:19. It says, sort of 18. It says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. Right. So Lamentations 4:20 goes to the fact that, we're done pretty much with our affliction. And now it's Esau's turn to get that. And he's being found out, to be the wicked. It says 2 Thessalonians 2:3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right. So the Israelites fell away from who they were. Right. And that has already happened. Now we have woken back up. Right. But it says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So now the man of sin is being revealed, the wicked. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he has God sit up in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And who said that they are God? The who? Just these African countries said they can't trust the who anymore. And that goes back to the Edomite, right? And that's the point. He's been revealed in these last days. Let me grab Habakkuk 2. Because then they'll throw things like Diddy in your face. But meanwhile, they're the one that made Diddy who he is and invited him into that circle, right, to make him do that thing. And that's what's happening right now with that list. They don't want to bring forth. You had this dude, Epstein, that's his name. Epstein, who's a part of, Israel and Mossad and all that. He's around doing different things with these different political leaders and recording it to have dirt on them, to basically, have it on them. This is what it says right here. Habakkuk 2:15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth diabolic to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. So this is what Epstein did. This is what they did to Diddy also. And the rest of all these different, people that's famous, all these football players, basketball players, singers, rappers, they're even getting into it with the screamers now. Chat and all of that stuff, what those screamers be saying. They're getting into it now. That's why you have like the dude Kai Cenat, Nicki Minaj out there. Drake is rapping about him in his songs and things like that. It says Habakkuk 2:16, thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful feeling shall be on thy glory. So these devils are being found out, and they're wanted all around the world. And that was my point. I went on Grok, right, which is an artificial intelligence app, kind of like ChatGPT and all of that. And I asked it, different criminal charges against like Nero 47, Netanyahu, and the Bill Gates guy. And they, it's a lot going on with them. I'll just mention a few things that it says here. I'll just read like the main parts that it says. It says, so criminal charges and cases against Nero 47. As of October 2025, Donald Trump's criminal cases have largely been resolved or paused due to his re-election as president in November 2024 and the Justice Department's policy against persecuting sitting presidents. The only conviction remains from a state case with no further punishment imposed. Civil lawsuits and court cases. Several civil cases against Trump remain active, primarily through appeals focusing on defamation, fraud, and sexual abuse. These are not affected by presidential immunity and in the same way as criminal matters. We got investigations. Past federal investigations into Trump's concluded without further action after his 2024 re-election, though he has sought compensation for them. Ongoing probes focus on his administration rather than personal conduct. Yeah, the whole of the current establishment of the U.S. government is under investigation. International crimes and war crimes. There are no formal charges, indictments, or convictions against Trump, but there is, because it's been talked about now, war crimes as in blowing up boats over there in Colombia and I believe it's Venezuela, right? Where they're just blowing up boats with people fishing on them. So people they're talking about that. Asked about Bill Gates. Criminal charges. It says as of October 2025, Bill Gates has faced no criminal charges, indictments, or convictions, which is fucking false. We just watch them, right? Where people are talking about it, whatever the case may be. The scriptures say, "Who possess or slay them hold themselves not guilty," right? And Job 9:24 says the world is given into the hand of the wicked, so they own it all, right? But people are making inquisition about what they're doing, and that's the point. And what Bill Gates is big in is what they were talking about in the video that I just showed y'all. Remember the Georgia Guidestones and the different laws that they wrote on those things regarding what they wanted to do. You can look up the Georgia Guidestones that they destroyed to hide that information. Right. Then we got Netanyahu. Says, as of October 2025, Netanyahu faces ongoing criminal proceedings in Israel for corruption alongside international arrest warrants. It says no convictions have been secured in his domestic cases, which began in 2020 and involved allegations of robbery, fraud, and breach of trust. The trials have been delayed multiple times due to the Gaza war, diplomatic commitments, and Netanyahu's request, with his testimony phase resuming in September 2025 after a brief postponement. So we got and all these people I just listed are under investigation, for that list that they're trying to hold back from the public. All right. So pretty much that was it. I just wanted to bring it out because, these devils, are being basically inquired about. And it's the usual suspects, the Edomites, right? The people that run the world. And no one else is under investigation like that for nothing. No one else. The mainstream media is not giving it to us. There's nothing going on around the world where they're like, hey, look at this. Job 18:5, it says, yet the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. And what's crazy is that, something that I've seen for myself regarding Netanyahu is that he's in the crossfire of this list right? Even though Epstein was doing the spying and the trying to trap people up, because one of the females basically wrote a book and mentioned a well-known prime minister that we all know, you know. Job 18:8, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The gin shall take him by the hill, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. And that's what's happening, right? Everywhere this devil look, a new, video or whatnot, article is going up about things that he has done or is doing currently, So, Lord willing, you edify from the lesson. Pretty much, I just blowing the trumpet on that, and these devils are being revealed in these last days. So, shalom to the hopeful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.